The TETRA rifles have been added to the Year Hub for in-game currency, and I'm back on my free-to-play account to test them out. So we're going to be picking up the TETRA Rifle 8, which is for credits. You can see the 6, the 8, and the 10 are for credits, all pretty nice. I'm going to be getting the 8 personally for my account. Alright, so here is my first build with the TETRA 8s on Aegis. No implants, but I have a max pilot, so let's see what these things can do. I am a bit worried that my Tetras aren't going to be able to take out an enemy mech like in one mag, even with the full charge of the first 3 shots. So let me quickly explain how the weapon works in case you don't know. Essentially, you have 3 shots, and each of the first 3 shots charges up the final shot, which will then do a lot more damage. This weapon also has shield piercing, which makes it a lot more helpful against mods. Let's see. Okay, 120,000 damage. That's not bad, actually. That's gonna do pretty well for us. It's gonna struggle if we go against Galvanic though, because the boosted damage from charging up. Essentially, yeah, you hit those first 3 shots to charge up your final shot, but that counts as boosted damage for Galvanical. Like, this guy has Galvanical, so we're probably gonna deal a little less to him. He was low though already. So TETRA was a sniper. It's a much more recent sniper. It's not that new of a weapon anymore, but it's a more recent sniper than things like EM rifle, railgun, and long arm. Those are more of the OG snipers. So it was built with mods in mind, but those weapons weren't. Mods were essentially made to counter EM rifle and railgun, like, most primarily. Those weapons, I mean, EM rifle and railgun, at the point right before mods, railgun was just destroying the meta. Like, the meta was about to be 3 railgun builds, because railgun was the best sniper and it was the best at close range, because it does full damage at close range, and it would one-shot every mech before mods. It still would. Like, railgun is still the meta in a no mods, like, custom match or something like that. So yeah, it was a good addition. Something needed to be done, because those sniper weapons, the EM2, the EM also would just one-shot everything, because it does so much damage. Something needed to be done, and mods were a good option, but essentially mods were made, yeah, most primarily to counter those other snipers. But then this weapon came out, and this weapon was made with mods in the game and mods in mind. So it's actually better against mods than those weapons are. Imagine someone with an ML layer, shield mod against a railgun. Railgun takes like 5 seconds to reload at minimum, or it's probably even more than that, even with a max legendary implant, in like almost 10 seconds or something. EM takes like 4 with a reload implant, the like epic reload implant. So those weapons take so long to reload, it would just take them like a full minute to get rid of someone's ML mods if they keep exposing themselves. Even on a bot, it's kind of hard to kill a bot, unless your teammate helps you like destroy their ML shield, you're gonna really struggle. But this weapon has multiple shots, so it could take down 3 ML layers just like that. And then also, I have the shield pierce, which helps me, bypass some of those mods, which is really nice. You're going to see there, we got 5 kills, but a decent amount of damage, so that was a pretty good performance. I didn't really have any pressure on me, but we got an MVP as well, nice. So yeah, since this weapon was made with mods in mind, it means that it performs a lot better on most mechs than railgun or EM rifle do. Really, those weapons, for the most part, have just fallen off. Now, again, the shield pierce is one thing that really helps this weapon actually be at least decent in the game right now. This isn't like a top meta weapon, but if you want a sniper weapon, for most mechs, this is actually going to be your best option. And now that, I mean, that was the 6, 8, and 10 are all for credits. That's pretty awesome from Plarium, because now we can, you can keep running it up until 20 energy just for credits, right? With a little bit of an A-coin investment for 1 rank up on the 10, right? I mean, that's pretty nice, to be honest. These are fun weapons, I would say. And yeah, they're going to be your best sniper option for most mechs. Now, the exception, of course, is Orion. Orion with the Railgun 8s, that's what I normally use my maxed Archangel pilot here on my free-to-play account, which is incredibly strong. I mean, the Railgun Orion is, in my opinion, like the best free-to-play kind of build there is, because it allows you to, like, one-shot or 2-shot much stronger opponents, even if they have mods and stuff. I mean, the railguns just do so much damage at any range. As long as you get your mark on them, obviously an Eclipse is going to give you a little bit of a problem, but because the Orion's Hunter's Mark allows you to shield pierce, just like this weapon does by default, it means that it's going to be a lot better and a lot more useful, because you can bypass those mod shields. Essentially, I'm able to 2-shot, 3-shot everything in the game with my Orion once I get the Hunter's Mark on. And you can increase that also with the Orion Shield Pierce implant. So yeah, the Tetras are going to be your best bet if you want a sniper. Now again, they're not meta. They will, you can see here, even without implants, I'm generally one-shotting any enemy I'm fighting. As long as I charge up, you have to hit all these charge up shots, which can be a little bit difficult, but usually isn't too bad. I do want to kind of try this on a different mech though, but obviously Aegis, I'm using Aegis here because these are kind of a sustained weapon. I need to set on the open and hit all these like charge up shots, right? There, we're just out of range, so these don't have quite infinite range. We're probably gonna go down here. Oh no, I'm still alive. Okay, let's see if I can let's see if I can make it. This cheetah's gonna want to try to get me. I'm gonna go out here, place my dome. Let's get this cheetah out of the way. Pretty scary guy. I mean, I have 10 kills right now. Honestly, these are doing better than I expected. I guess I have a max pilot, but with no reload implant, you don't need a reload implant on these, but it is nice. Their reload is short though, so the Tetra is actually in an interesting situation where even though I have things like Orion and Stalker that could carry these Tetra 8s, it's not really worth it because their damage comes from charging up. So you want to be able to have sustained, right? That's why I used Aegis. Aegis is probably my best option I have on my account here for those Tetra 8s. But I'm also using Zephyr here because now if we stun the enemy, we should be able to get out our full, 3 shots onto the enemy, which allows us to, at least from so far I've seen, we're one-shotting most people when we get all 3 of those shots on, which is pretty nice. I mean, one-shotting someone with a magazine this short, it's like a 4-second reload there. The range on these weapons is pretty good. Of course, they're snipers, but yeah, you're going to want to have something that can kind of have sustained damage, but I wouldn't tend to put these on a Stalker or Orion. Like, I don't really think it's worth it, because you're not gaining too much benefit from that, and there's better stuff to put on those mechs, especially for Orion. I would just use that railgun, to be honest. It's just not worth it in my opinion. There we go. That was over 200. That was like 240,000 damage. That's not bad. I mean, again, I have a max pilot, but these are a fun weapon as well. This seems like a decent free-to-play option. If you want a sniper, this is the route to go for sure, unless you're going for Orion. Basically, that's the TLDR of all this, right? Anything you want, and you want to, you want to get it on something that can, Bastion would be a fun pick, but for free-to-play mechs, I think Aegis is probably the best option. If you want to go the 20 energy route as well, you can do that too, because, again, those Tetra 10s, the Tetra 10 is for credits in the Gear Hub. 600,000 credits, and it's also it's like a strong weapon to use to progress in the Gear Hub. But yeah, I wouldn't use it on, you don't want to use it on those meta scouts either, so obviously, like, Eclipse is probably the strongest mech to use with this weapon, but it's not actually worth it because Eclipse has better pairings, right? You wanna, make your hanger most efficient, even though Eclipse, I don't have Eclipse on this count, but even though if I had Eclipse, right, that's probably the best, strongest option that'll get the most kills. But it's not actually worth it because Eclipse can equip stronger things like Revokers and also use those, where other mechs can't use Revokers. Like Orion shouldn't ever use Revokers, or Aegis probably shouldn't use Revokers most of the time. Okay, I did put these on Stalker just for fun, just for the sake of it, but in general I wouldn't recommend using like Orion, Stalker, or even Brickhouse, like those damage boosting mechs, because you should be one-shotting everyone with the magazine already. Like with Orion, it's just going to be overkill. The reason you use it with the railguns is so that you can boost up to a one-shot range. Like railgun, one shot of railgun isn't going to one-shot everyone. One mag might, which this you need to one-shot everyone with the mag. Even without my damage boost, I should be able to almost one-shot most enemies. I can't on Gatecrasher, so maybe the tankier guys, or like with a lot of mods I can't. But I don't think the Predator Drive is that useful for this. But you want to use, generally you're going to want to use mechs that can stay out in the open, because you do have to fire for 1, 2, 3, like 3 to 4 seconds. You're going to need to flare at them, which is not like a traditional sniper like long arm railgun EM where you just peek once and do a ton of damage in one shot. You need to charge up. Now you can peek, go back and cover, and then keep peeking like secondary times to charge up, but that really lowers your DPS, especially if like, if you're doing that slowly, right? You need to have high DPS to win matches. I mean, you literally just need to get kills, right? If you get enough kills, you win the game. It's pretty simple. Oh my gosh. Ooh, we barely lived. Yeah, Stalker is also very squishy, especially with the Predator Drive active. I kind of want to get that guy, but I'm scared of him. I don't think he can hit me. No, there's no way. He only has Helix. But yeah, use things that can have sustained fire. So Blockhorn is another good option. Panther, if you aren't wasting your energy capacity. The point of Panther is to have high energy capacity. So don't waste your energy capacity and put these on Panther. If, like, my Panther is 24 energy, and these are the Tetra 8s, even if I got the 10s, it would just be wasting Panther's potential. That's the whole point of the mech, is to have high energy. Okay, we charged up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive, though. I will say, in Hangar Showdown, like in a no mods format, these aren't going to be much better. Nice, we got some healing. Like, like Railgun, I use Railgun on Aegis and Hangar Showdown because there are no mods. I'm in a league with no mods. I'm in League 2 in there. So it's actually super good because Aegis can protect itself, and then no one can actually get to me. And I'm able to destroy all the enemies in like 2 shots and basically brawl. Like I was saying, before mods were introduced, Railgun was the meta, and it's still really good in that no mod format. But Tetra's not really going to benefit from that much, or at all. To be honest, it's maybe a little worse for it because you can't protect yourself with mods to get your charge up. Because once you charge up the 3 shots, you're going to one-shot, again, you're going to one-shot most enemies. So yeah, overall, Tetra is a fun weapon. It can be pretty good. It's not meta, but if you want to get it and you want a sniper, this is your best option for any mech other than Orion, essentially. Otherwise, you're going to want to get the railguns on Orion. But yeah, this is not a bad weapon. It honestly impressed me a little bit today. So let me know in the comments what you think of the Tetra rifle if you're going to pick it up. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, reviewing new weapons that come out in the Gear Hub. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.